Welcome to Just Breathe. Today, I'd like to share a bit more about unconditional trust and what if. I have spoken extensively about unconditional trust, not only in this Just Breathe series, but in other occasions where I share live. And as you know, this series is about surrendering to our divine wisdom, to our intuition, to our heart, through the breath, through the safe space that the breath provides. And unconditional trust is really trusting 100% that everything that comes to pass in your reality is of service to you. And that once you shift into that mode of being present, alive, no longer in survival, once you realize you are here now to be whole, and you start allowing that, your consciousness shifts to a different perception and a different range of possibilities. And within that, drama and fear-based experiences are no longer provided, because you are no longer choosing them, allowing them, and bringing them forth. And therefore, there is no what if. Because you know that you are safe, unconditionally loved, provided for, and that nothing can come to pass that is not aligned with your frequency. And your frequency is determined by your consciousness. So either you are unconscious, dormant, not knowing that you are, in fact, a divine being having a human experience, or you are that. You know you are that. And you are living that, and you are choosing to experience that in every way. Or you are somewhere in between. But the fact is, once you realize that you are a divine human, that you are a spirit, a soul having human experiences, nothing is the same as it was before. But it can be seductive to try and perpetuate challenging experiences that provide you with the remembrance of the dramatic you, the suffering of the small human self, the normalcy of being limited and of living a mediocre life, always struggling, always either looking around you and not seeing enough, or striving for more. Once you shift into unconditional trust, you are in unconditional love. And you know that a certain range of experiences is no longer going to manifest. And you know that so strongly that, for instance, insurance companies will maybe have some trouble selling you something because it's all fear based. And people will have trouble convincing you that you might have an accident, that someone might harm you, that your house might be burgled, that something might come and destroy your existence, your belongings, whatever. Because you are in such a space of love that you are not visible to that kind of frequencies. There is simply no compatibility. So it's all about shifting consciousness into a different frequency that then provides love everywhere. I'll give you a small example. A few years ago, there was a huge fire near my house, and it was coming down the hills at amazing speed. This was in the morning, and it was almost time for me to teach my aqua gym class. At the time, I was a fitness instructor. And my boy, Samuel, was a baby. And so I made a choice. I looked at the fire and I decided not to have to stay there and do something about it, because it wasn't something that I could physically do something about. And I also decided not to start panicking and get all my stuff in the car. What I did was simply get my son in the car and myself and take myself to the pool to teach my class in complete trust, knowing that it wasn't about the fire coming and destroying my house or not, that one way or another, whatever came to pass, it was okay. Everything would be provided for me one way or another. And me being in the house, if, for instance, the fire did come over, would not be an intelligent thing to do either. And me panicking would only provide the worst possible scenario. Well, I went, taught my class, everything was okay, and then I went back home and my home was intact. Meanwhile, what had happened was that somehow, unexpectedly, the fire had taken a sharp turn left right before entering my own land, and that's it. This is just a small example that maybe some of you have been faced with in the past, and the question is, how much do you trust that you are safe no matter what comes to pass in your physical reality? So, with this, I take my leave and invite you to consider how much are you willing to trust? And let go of all of the what ifs. And really know that your entire reality is a safe space when you are in the safe space within you. And remember, just breathe. Staying in the breath provides that safe space where you can access, be in, and be unconditional love. Thank you. See you next week.